Hello, everybody. Firstly, thank you for allowing me the opportunity to talk to you today. You'll probably work out I'm not a public speaker or in any way related to the midwifery world. I'm Jessica, and I've had 2 babies in my life. My first child, Imogen, was born in February 2012 and was as run-of-the-mill as a pregnancy and birth could be. Imogen arrived at 40+1 and I had an epidural. So I can't even report an exceptional birth story. I was reading a magazine an hour before Imogen arrived, resting, as instructed by my midwife. My second child, Leo, well, he is a different story. Leo was a much longed for and wanted baby, and in August 2017, my beautiful baby boy was stillborn at 29 weeks. Leo weighed 4 pounds 1 ounce and was perfect. From his post-mortem, we learned, yes, as he looked, he was perfect. We lost him due to a blood clot in the placenta, causing part of it to fail. Having Leo has changed me and my husband, devastated us, crushed us, and our lives will never be the same again. Imogen often talks about her brother, which helps us. Leo is within our daily lives, but our hearts broke the day we lost him. I do various rituals now for Leo, flowers on my fireplace, lighting candles. When we first came home after losing Leo, I hated flowers, cards, gifts. But as soon as they stopped, I felt he was missing. His memory was slipping from people's minds. So I bring my own gifts into the house for him now. People treat me differently too. I'm amazed at the scale of stillbirth and baby loss. So many people have reached out to me to tell me their story, their loss, which until Leo, I knew nothing about. Within my daughter's class at school, there are 5 of us who have lost a baby at over 20 weeks, none of which I knew until it happened to me. People don't talk about baby loss. Other people now also ignore me, are uncomfortable around me. I want to shout, please talk to me, don't make me the invisible person in the room, or ignore that I lost my most precious baby. Trust me, this makes my pain worse. He did exist. I'm here today mainly because I want to tell you about Rachel. By some amazing twist of fate, even though my babies were born 5 years apart, and with the end outcome so exceptionally different, the same midwife delivered both my babies, Rachel. I hate to admit it, I don't really remember Rachel after Imogen was born. Why would I suppose? She did her job well. But I left delivery suite about an hour after Imogen was born, never to look back. Don't get me wrong, I remember some key things she said to me. Can a student watch? I have concerns about how baby is coping with pushing. I may need to give a cut if she doesn't deliver soon. FYI, no cut was needed. I remember her as a young blonde girl. However, after Leo, Rachel's face is forever in my memory. Rachel is amazing, and because she's amazing, she's here today to tell you about delivering our special babies.
Okay. Before you even start caring for a woman and their family who've had the devastating news that they will not be taking a healthy baby home with them, you feel for them already. You imagine their pain, sadness, anger, confusion, numbness, and of course the love they have for the baby they are carrying, the cruelty of the roller coaster of emotions. These will be felt at any stage of pregnancy loss, yet must be so much harder to deal with, the absolute visibility of the bump for all to see. Their long walk down the hospital corridor, all those strangers seeing the bump and smiling at them, imagining it as a happy event awaiting you. Why would they suspect any different? You prepare the room, trying to ensure that everything you may need is there. Refreshments are in the fridge. You read through their notes to check you are aware of the facts, the medical history, as this is relevant to providing safe care. On reading Jessica's notes, I recognised my writing and realised I had cared for her when she had birthed Imogen. It was important that she was comfortable with me being the midwife assigned to care for her. Perhaps she would wish to have a completely separate two birth experiences, with this birth not having the happy ending that she had had with Imogen. I, being a common denominator, must not cause her any more upset in any way. As I introduced myself to Jessica and Ben, I gently reminded her I had been her midwife when she had birthed Imogen, and asked if she was still happy for me to care for her, knowing this. Had she not been, I would have asked the shift coordinator to reallocate a different midwife to care for her. Admittedly, my midwifery training was some time ago. I remember we perhaps only received an afternoon session on caring for bereaved parents. Caring for a bereaved couple, you feel anxiety. What to do, what to say, what should I not say? Despite such little training, I have always tried to just be human, just be myself, just be kind. There simply cannot be a script, as every couple, every person is individual. All you can do is be there as much as you are needed. Be with woman, the very definition of the word midwife. It is, of course, also important to give couples the space they need, both before and after their baby is born.
Rachel walked up to me and my husband as we headed towards delivery suite after 2 days previously learning our baby's heart stopped beating. I was going to deliver a forever sleeping baby. Rachel met us and guided us to the bereavement suite. An awful room. The entire maternity department had been refurbished, but not the dead baby room. But the fact that there is a bereavement suite was a godsend. To hear other women labouring or new babies cry would probably have ended me there and then. While I was being induced, Rachel was calm, compassionate, but not pitying. She gave me time when I was probably waffling the same things over and over. I'm sure she had other ladies to look after who were obviously higher risk and priority to me, knowing what my outcome was going to be. But Rachel never made me feel like this. When Leo arrived, slightly unexpectedly, at the end of Rachel's shift, she didn't leave or hand over to someone else. She tenderly, professionally, and compassionately got Leo ready. As all I can remember doing is shouting at her to clean him and wrap him in a blanket I brought with me. She told me he was beautiful and took the time to look at him with me while he lay in a cot.
Having spent the day giving the practical care and emotional support to Jessica and Ben, I felt I'd really let Jessica down when Leo was born unexpectedly, as I had not been in the room with her. I remember Ben opening the door and calling for me. Leo looked so perfect, so fragile and precious, and I took great care in wrapping him and gently asking Ben if he wanted to hold him whilst I attended to Jessica. I remember Ben asking me to check if Leo was breathing, as he sensed he could feel him moving in his arms. How it felt to gently assure him that sadly, Leo had in fact been born sleeping with no signs of life. You feel their pain, yet what must be a mere fraction of the enormity of what they must be feeling. The event of birth that they had anticipated as being one of the happiest events in their lives, now being probably most likely their saddest. Giving them a hug and telling them you will keep them in your thoughts as you leave for home at the end of your shift. Sneaking in to give my own precious boy, once home, a kiss, with heaviness in my heart for all the memories that they should have had with their precious baby having been snatched away.
My husband and I stayed the night and the next day with Leo. We created memories we didn't even know we needed. Harrogate Hospital arranged for Remember My Baby to come and take photos of Leo. I didn't even know I wanted them, but without them, I would not have been able to create the perfect photo album I have for him. I do Imogen an album every year, so to be able to do the same for Leo has given me great comfort. The midwives who looked after us after Rachel left continued to support us and help. They helped us get Leo's handprints and footprints, cut a little bit of his hair. I was asked to choose a blanket for him. I wish I'd kept it now, but I was so worried about leaving him comfy, I left it with him. I had a hat and glove set. I kept the gloves so I remember what it feels like to touch the hat on his head. All the memories we created now sit in the Our Angels memory box we were given, and I will continue to add Leo's memories to this box forever.
Jessica is incredibly brave and strong, so soon after losing Leo, to feel that she can talk so publicly about her experience. As she says, it was losing Leo that made her aware that other mothers in Imogen's class had lost a baby also. As humans, we all deal with loss differently, which must be respected and accepted. With something so personal, there simply cannot be a norm. On occasions, a couple may decline the mementos offered or the opportunities to create memories with their baby. And as midwives, we should gently suggest that while they feel they do not want or need to have them now, that they may wish to at a later date, perhaps even suggesting that we keep safe the memories, such as photographs, until a time in the future when they may change their minds. Even parents will, on occasion, cope with their grief very differently, perhaps one wishing to see and hold the baby, the other preferring not to do so. It's important to reassure the couple that this is not uncommon, but they must feel comfortable with whatever they wish as individuals.
3 days later, after being at home and trying to process what had happened, I felt I needed to see my boy again. My husband wasn't keen to go back. He wanted to remember Leo as he was, but because he loves me and could see I needed it, we went back to the hospital. It was perfect. Leo was in a Moses basket. It pleased me to see he had been so lovingly cared for. I asked when Rachel was next working. I thought she only worked 2 days a week, and I wanted to bring her a card or a thank you. But fate again, she was working that day. Rachel came to see us. Again, she took the time to look at Leo and tell me how beautiful he is. I got teary. I said what has become my mantra for Leo. I wanted him so much. Rachel said, "I know, he will always be in your heart." Rachel had asked to come to Leo's funeral, but the timing didn't work out. The fact she asked meant a huge amount to us. Imogen came to the funeral, and as a small group of family and friends, we said goodbye to our little lion. My husband carried Leo into and out of the church, and I carried him into the crematorium. The last thing I could do for him. We sang Shine Jesus Shine in church for Leo, chosen by his sister, the only person who didn't actually sing when we were there.
When Jessica's name popped up requesting to send me a message, I remembered her instantly. In the 15 years of midwifery, with seeing so many faces, it is inevitable that you won't remember all, but certainly those ladies who didn't get to take their babies home with you stay with you. Again, once they have spent some time that they feel they need with their baby and they feel ready for leave for home, you feel for them, having to explain what happened to the bump. no pushing the pram or the proud announcement of baby's safe arrival. Perhaps the bumping into someone weeks or months later who hadn't heard. Jessica and her family stayed in my thoughts, and I often felt that I wanted to let her know that. It's hard though, as for some women, they may prefer not to have any further contact, as it may be too painful a reminder for them. You wonder what the future holds for them, and hope and pray for them, their rainbow baby, in no way ever a replacement, but a happy event that they had hoped for at the start of their pregnancy that had ended in loss.
Knowing Rachel and knowing the impact she has had on my life has made me question who I am and what I'm doing. I'm an accountant. I help people meet their statutory requirements. No one remembers me. I don't impact anyone's life through my work. I don't give anything back. My friend's daughter is applying to do a nursing degree. I'm jealous that she's going down a path that will help people, will mean something to someone. Rachel means something to me. She was there for me in my darkest moment, when my baby boy arrived silently into the world. But amazingly, she was there in my happiest moments too. When I had my wonderful baby girl, and when I met my Leo.
As a midwife, we take great joy in sharing with a couple one of the most amazing experiences in life, becoming parents. Caring for a couple in one of their saddest moments in life can be one of the most humbling, rewarding of days. You imagine the torrent of emotions they must be feeling, how you wish you could be caring for them under happier circumstances. It always touches me when a couple is so thankful for the care that they have received. Thank you.
Thank you.